So district court judges have taken it upon themselves to go ahead and try to interfere with Trump's duties as president and also the duties of those that he has appointed and hired, etc., to go in and stop the government waste, which we already know is quite a bit, right? So now two judges, I think one from New York and another one from, it doesn't even matter, you know what I mean? It doesn't even matter where they're from, you know, because the point is, they're basically obstructing the executive branch, right? They're basically trying to take it over. They're making the claim that they decide what Trump can cut funding for and who he can fire, and not the executive branch of the United States. We're going to get into that in just a second because it's really weird. I just want to also say quickly, the Super Bowl was an absolute disaster. Now here in Germany, the Super Bowl lasts until about 5 in the morning because it's of course sent out live. So the next day I have off work, which is why yesterday there was no Insanity Report, and why it's coming today. I'm for the Chiefs 100%. The Chiefs are my team, and they got wrecked. And, you know, it's not really because they played badly. It's that the Eagles clearly hadn't figured out, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they sacked fucking Mahomes more times in that game than probably his whole career put together. They wouldn't let him throw. I mean, they played good. The Eagles played real well. They well deserve it. But of course, I am disappointed that the Chiefs did not make the trifecta. Anyway, guys, it is Tuesday. It is the 11th of January, the 11th of February, 2025. It's now 1:45 p.m. here in Germany, and this is the Insanity Report, the first of the week for today, where we're going to talk about these rogue judges, I guess you could call them, even though they're not really rogue because they are doing this at the behest of somebody, right? There was lawsuits filed, and they, of course, are leftist judges. You don't see Republican judges doing this. They're leftist judges that are being directed by probably their Democrat friends, right? So we see that there's a couple of problems with this, right? For the Democrats, let's start there. The Democrats are throwing away any chance they have of ever being reelected to any significant position of power again, in my opinion, right? And the reason why I think that is because, you know, a large majority of America voted for Trump, right? And since he's been there, his approval rating has just only gotten higher than it ever has been before. So that means that the majority of the American people like what Trump is doing, right? And they don't care so much about what district court judges think of it or the Democrats think of it. As a matter of fact, they're watching the Democrats dig their heels in so hard. And now the lawfare starting up again against Trump to try to stop him from cutting necessary government waste, right? Making necessary cuts to government waste, I guess is a better way to put it. Why would people in government that are supposed to be representing the taxpayer, that is now blatantly and openly finding out that their taxpayer dollars have been pissed away for decades on all kinds of absolutely useless shit that nobody asked for, right? What politician in their right mind would then take the side of the wasteful spending, take the side of the fraud, take the side of the massive government overreach bullshit programs to NGOs that are not NGOs, they're not non-governmental organizations, they are government organizations, right? Why would they go against that? Why would a politician that needs to be elected by the people go out there and fuck their career up by going against, like, Doge and the people that work there, going against the elimination of wasteful and fraudulent government spending, which has now already been proven. It's been put out there. It's not like it's classified information, but that we have to, like with the JFK files, where we have to sit there for 70 years and go, well, I mean, we really think they did it. You know, they're hiding a bunch of stuff. We really do think we know what it is, but we don't know for sure. You know, it's not like that. It's not like we're creating a conspiracy theory about government spending, about NGOs that are pissing big money, about money going to media outlets, both foreign and domestic, money going to overthrowing governments, money going to protests that are funded in other countries. I mean, all condoms in Gaza and all kinds of insane shit, which, I mean, some of which are clearly grifts, where somebody who set that up is skimming money off it. Like the condoms for Gaza thing. That's just the name they gave that shit. You know what I mean? That if they're ever audited and if they're ever fucking checked on it, they're like, yeah, at that time we decided, it was really necessary. We needed to cut the population in Gaza for sure. I mean, Israel wanted us to do it, right? So, I mean, it makes sense. They're going to have to, they can't just name it, Democrat congressperson grift fucking 250 grand fund or 2 million grand fund, whatever. You know what I mean? They can't do it. They can't call it that. So most of these things are probably a grift, and that's why the Democrats are so pissed off. And the other things are basically just waved through payments that have never been checked out. They've never been audited before. Congress has been neglecting their duty for decades. So I think, in my opinion, I said it last week also, I think that the Congress people that are supposed to be passing laws and reviewing spending, they didn't do that. And I don't think there's anything they can do now by suddenly jumping on the Trump train and be like, yeah, we're cutting government waste. No, it's too late for that shit. These motherfuckers have lost all credibility, in my opinion, every single one of them that rubber stamped this shit for decades. There's a bunch of new Congress people that are in there that you can't really blame because they're actually new, you know what I mean? And they couldn't have really done anything. But, there are Congress people there that have been there for decades. And they have just passed these fucking pork spending bills over and over and over again without reviewing anything, without checking anything out, they have not done their duty. They have not protected the money of the taxpayer of America. They have allowed it to be squandered on their watch. All they've done is just be the guardian of the tower of the status quo. That's it. And I think that they should all be primaried. I think they should all go. If there's no way to legally get rid of them for completely abdicating their duty to the Constitution, to the American people, if there's no way to get rid of them, then they must be unelected. And that's up to the people. I think that people should do that, really. It doesn't matter how much they suck up now, how much they're on the good side of Trump now, you know what I mean? There will be other people that will also be loyal to the Trump idea, to MAGA, that will want to be candidates for being Congress people. And I think they should get a chance, and these people got to go. This is part of the problem, that there's so many old fossils in that system that are just, they want their pensions, they want to retain their power. They're used to things just going, and just going the status quo way. Everything's gonna go all right. We're used to it like this. We're not gonna really rock the boat. There's too many of these old motherfuckers in there that have been there forever, and not rocking the boat is exactly what got everybody into this fucking position in the first place. It's absolutely stunning what Doge is finding in these agencies. And there's more to come. Now, yes, I get it. People are pissed. These judges, right? The judges are blocking it. Look, I'm not so sure that they even have the legal right to do this. Now, Trump is playing it smart, because I was watching Robert Gouveia. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's a lawyer. Got a great podcast, Robert Gouveia Esquire. It's Watching the Watchers is the name of the podcast. Look it up on YouTube, subscribe. He goes over all of these cases, different important court cases, things that are happening in Congress. He goes over it very detailed, and he knows what he's talking about. I have no reason to distrust what he says. And in his opinion, Trump's approach to this is good, because what he thinks is that the Democrats and these judges are setting a trap for Trump to walk into, so that they have something to impeach him on later if they get back hold of the House again in 2020 or in 2026, right? Now again, what makes them think they're going to get a hold of the House again? I do not know. I cannot imagine that the people out there that are true Americans, that are absolutely enraged at what their money has been going to, and that people in fucking North Carolina, Hawaii, East Palestine, Ohio, California can't get more than $700 relief from the government, but Zelensky can get billions, which he claims is now also missing. You know what I mean? And the Pentagon can piss away trillions of dollars. Now all these USAID things that have come out, that would piss off the Pope, right? That is infuriating to everybody. And how Democrats think they will ever win an election again by telling all these American people, listen, no, you can't be mad. This is how we do it. Shut up, pay, and keep your mouth shut about it. And that's it. That's all we want from you. And when it's time to vote, you vote for Democrats. That's basically their approach. I mean, that's the thing. It's an ideology, right? These people are captured by their ideology, and they don't know how to get out of it. Their brains are fucked. Obviously, their brains are fucked. No politician in their right mind would go against this, would go against the uprooting of extreme government waste spending with the taxpayer money, especially if the taxpayer was being informed about it on a rolling basis through X. I mean, the Doge team is basically communicating with the American people on an hour-by-hour basis. I mean, that's why I don't talk about it much. The information's all out there. Go look on X, follow. Every day, every hour, there's more shit coming out about, oh, they did this, and they spent money on that, and this is where the money went for this, and this is who was behind it. It's bananas, right? And the repercussions are that, yes, these agencies are going to get eliminated, and that's all good. What if they did something good? Well, if they did something good, they can create a new agency to do that one good thing and leave it at that. That's all the power they get. They're good at that. That's what they do. That's it. All the other shit has to go. And now it has to go more than ever, because now the suspicion the American people have had for decades that their money is obviously being squandered if we're trillions in debt, and Americans can't get relief for jack shit. There's a homeless crisis everywhere. There's all kinds of problems that the left claims to be able to solve with money, and yet there's never the money for those things, right? And so people have been wondering, hey, there's something up with, there's been investigations into shit by journalists and by all kinds of things. People on their own have been investigating it. There's been whistleblowers. There's been all kinds of shit. And every time we get like a little nugget of information and we think, okay, we still can't prove it. Now it's proven. Now the suspicions are proven true. Now it's like, look, people, yes, you were right all along. This money's been pissed away. USAID funded COVID. It basically funded the lab in Wuhan against the fucking moratorium on gain-of-function research by Obama, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I could make 100 videos of an hour each. I probably could, to talk about each of these things that have come out so far. And then you're a Democrat judge, right? Which doesn't need to be elected, which is why they can do it. That is getting directed by lawsuits funded by Democrats with taxpayer money. So now the Democrats they're not only telling you, hey, we want this wasteful spending to continue. We want to continue giving millions of dollars to trans studies in Congo and condoms in Gaza, and we want to continue funding gain-of-function research. And but since Trump's not going to let us do that, now we're going to use even more of your taxpayer money frivolously to sue Trump, and he's going to have to use more of your taxpayer money frivolously to defend himself in those lawsuits. It's crazy. It's crazy. These judges should be impeached. But right now, Trump is playing it right because he's going along with it. He's like, okay, we'll follow this rule, His lawyers are fighting it. They're appealing stuff. And, what he should do, I guess I agree with this. This, again, is Robert Gouvea's take on watching the watchers. I agree with this. I think that Trump is probably going to be better off complying, like over-complying, right? And finding loopholes where he can, and let this go up to the Supreme Court so the Supreme Court can decide who is actually in charge of the country. Is it unelected bureaucrats and unelected judges that are directed by politics and ideology? Or is it the President of the United States, the executive branch, and those folks? I mean, apparently the Democrats think it's the bureaucrats. And they're telling the American people, look, American people, we know you think this is all wasteful. We know you guys are pissed off with what's coming out. But, you know, it's all lies. USAID is the best organization ever. We're going to keep lying to you, right? And basically, you have to just shut up and take it. Because we want this to continue the way it's going. And really, you have no say on where your tax money goes. You have to just pay it, and we do what we want with it, which is what we've been doing for the last decades. And we don't want to stop it now, you know? And if you don't like it, or if Trump keeps trying, we're going to try and sue him in court to make him stop. And we're going to continue the wasteful spending and the bloat that's going on in the government of America. That's crazy. They'll never win another election again, in my view. At least they fucking shouldn't. You know, Americans would be absolutely brain dead to vote for any Democrat at this point, because none of them are speaking out against any of this stuff that the judges are doing and shit like that. None of them. They're just like the trans shit. They're all on the same page, right? And look, nobody can vote for these people again. They're killing their own career because of ideology, because they are so mentally, cognitively captured by this crazy ideology of the left and wokeism that they can't see past it anymore. They can't get out of it. It's like Tom Cruise in Scientology, you know what I mean? Running around with his big fucking gold medallion, thinking he's the Jesus of the world and shit. That's what they're crazy. They're crazy. And they need to be removed from power as quickly as possible. Never vote for a Democrat again, unless, one wakes up. You know, I know people out there going, well, Ro Khanna. No, Ro Khanna's no different. He is a Democrat, right? If you disagree with so much of what the Democrats have done and are doing, then you leave, like RFK and Tulsi Gabbard and Joe Rogan and Trump and everybody else. Then you're out. You say, I'm out. But no, Ro Khanna still believes in the leftist bullshit. He's a progressive. He's not different. He's the same. Get rid of all of them. Never vote for them again. You know what I mean? They have clearly learned nothing. And so, Gouveia thinks that these judges' orders are a trap for Trump to walk into, and they hope he disregards the orders and just does whatever he wants, which is what I emotionally would want him to do, right? I emotionally want him to go, fuck you, I'm the president. You know what I mean? But it's probably smarter to comply, because that would be a grounds for impeachment if they ever do win the House again. And then they would be able to try and impeach him for that. And I guess Trump is probably also considering, I think the Supreme Court would appreciate it more if Trump didn't go rogue, you know what I mean? And just to piss on these judges and say, fuck you, I'm just going to do what I want to do because I have the right to do it. He's probably in the right, and he's going to want the Supreme Court to look at him most favorably, which they probably will if he complied with all this stuff, even though the urgency is there to shut these agencies down right away. We can't let them have more money, because clawing it back is going to be absolutely difficult or impossible, right? So basically, we're in a hurry here. Trump is in a hurry, and yet still, he's complying with them and going along with their crazy attempted takeover of the executive branch, which is what he should do. So they have no grounds to impeach him. And the Supreme Court will look at it, hopefully quickly. And everybody seems to think, everybody with legal scholarship, you know, that I can kind of trust for information about stuff I don't know anything about, they all are pretty confident that the Supreme Court is just going to rule in Trump's favor out here and tell these judges and these activist Democrats there's no fucking way you're going to be able to stop this, because it's completely legitimate for the president and the teams to audit the government once in a while. As a matter of fact, every president probably should, so he knows where the money is going during his administration. It's actually insane that this has never happened before. It is insane that this is not a normal, built-in, regular thing. that every new presidency, a team goes in and audits everything the previous president has done, so that they can kind of line up what the budget's going to be, what they're going to be used for. I mean, how can you be flying blind like this as a president all these decades? Every president just goes in and goes, all right, I guess I'll just trust whatever you guys say, okay? That seems insane to me. When a new owner takes over a company, do you think they just take the word for the ex-CEO that everything's fine and just keep fucking running the shit exactly the same way? No, they go in forensically audit every fucking nook and cranny, every pencil, every paper, everybody, every camera, every shit. They go look at everything and see what needs to be changed in order to make the company more profitable, because there's a reason they bought it, right? And the presidents and the government, there's no built-in thing that's like, okay, and we're all going, this is awesome. Why wasn't this a normal thing? Right? Why wasn't this normal? I don't understand. This should be a regular thing, and hopefully from now on it is. Right? I think it is, absolutely incumbent to the president that comes after Trump to also go through a full forensic audit, unless that president is J.D. Vance, who has been right there throughout this whole administration. But even then, he knows now, they know now, you can't take your eyes off these fucking government agencies. You have to watch every move they make. As soon as they get a little bit of rope, they're going to hang themselves. And so you've got to be auditing them on the regular, at least for the next decades. They should get no leash whatsoever. None. They should be on the shortest fucking leash they've ever seen. One of those just hand grips with a click on it on the end of it. That's it. They get no movement. They got to get the little red ball and shit, and they got to be gagged too, because they also can't say shit. They are just going to start doing their job and their job only, and they're going to be watched every step of the way, and I think they should be. Because this is necessary, people. It's necessary for everybody. And the American people seem to understand that, and they seem to be pretty wow about what Trump is doing. So, hey, these judges can put their whole career at risk. Hopefully, there's going to be grounds for Pam Bondi to investigate these judges, to see who they've been talking to see if these orders came down from on high. You know what I mean? If there's any corruption in their way, then the DOJ will find it. There is a reason to investigate them, I think. They are trying to impede, they're weaponizing their power to try to impede a legally or democratically elected president's job and function. And he's only got 4 years, so we don't have time to fuck with these people, really. So it's actually a big infringement. And I think that these judges could be investigated. And if they can, they should be. And if there's anything on them, any reason to impeach them, any reason to do anything, they should do it. Gouveia mentioned maybe the Republicans should create some sort of bogus committee where no Democrats are allowed to be on it, and just start subpoenaing these judges and subpoenaing these people. And just do it. That's what the Democrats did. Just fucking do it. Yeah. But that they could do now. I think that's a good idea, because the Democrats did that during January 6th. They made a completely bogus fucking committee with only their hand-picked Republicans, which aren't really Republicans. They're basically Democrat Trojan horses, and then they made up a whole committee and subpoenaed people and everything. And that's okay. They set that precedent so that the Republicans can do that. Do it. Trump can comply with the order while the Republicans get their balls together and form a committee and drag these fucking judges in under subpoena to answer questions about this shit. That they could do. Maybe Trump's holding them back. It doesn't seem like Republicans does. Republicans are generally pretty pussy, But maybe he's holding them back and saying, no, let's not fuck with him until the Supreme Court. Because, look, I don't want to piss the Supreme Court off. Okay, I get it. He's playing by the rules, showing the Supreme Court that he's got himself under control. He's not trying to be a dictator. He is just doing what's necessary. I get it. I get that game plan. It probably is the smartest way to go. So think about that, guys. But don't keep looking at Doge on X, people. That's the only place you're going to get this information anyway, because the mainstream media is just going to lie and say, oh my God, they're killing kids in Rwanda. they're not getting any more food. Well, even that's not really a good excuse for me. I don't know if the United States is responsible for kids in Rwanda. Not sure if that's really the case. I don't think it is. I mean, what somebody came out today and said that some Democrats said that already there's 35,000 Jordanian jobs now lost because of the cuts to USAID. Last I checked, Jordania was not part of America in any way. Last I checked, American taxpayers are not responsible for jobs in Jordan. You see what I'm saying? Oh, the Israel paper, what's it called? The Israel Press or the Israel something. Anyway, they came out with an article saying that, the USAID cut has cost 35,000 jobs in Jordan. Well, then I guess it's time for the king of Jordan to start creating some fucking jobs in Jordan. Because that's his fucking problem. All right? All right. Guys, if you want to get my stuff regularly in your inbox, also the articles I write, then you have to subscribe to the Substack. That's it'sallaboutlogic.substack.com. It's on the screen. You can see it. Subscribe there. You can do it for free, but you can also support me with $5 a month there. That way you get all the videos, all the articles, because Substack does not censor anything. And other platforms still do. And so not all the videos will make it, and of course the articles won't make it on a video platform. So go to it'sallaboutlogic.substack.com and support me there, subscribe there, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on the Insanity Report. It's going to be another wild one, I bet. All right, guys, take it easy.